Out of a half of a yard of fabric folded over, I can make 2 squares that I can turn into bias binding, and equals about 284 inches of binding, which is nice. We like to use stripes. It makes a nice feature on the side of quilts. As you can see here, I've cut them in half, and now I am going to lay them on top of each other and sew a seam across the top, which will in turn make it into a parallelogram. So I am pointing out here where to sew, and then once that is sewn and it is opened up, then we will draw our lines for cutting. I am using a 7 by 24 ruler, and I am wanting to cut my strips 2 1/4 inches wide. So I am going across the full parallelogram with as many 2 1/4 inch strips as I can make. Once I get all of the lines drawn, I'm then going to bring one of the sides up to match the other side. So I'm picking the first row, and I'm going to skip the first row on the other side. So this can get a little tricky, but I'm trying to find it here. So there was my first line, there's my second line, and I am going to line it up. So there's my first line, and there's my second line, and I'm going to take the opposite side first line and match it up to the other side's second line, and pin each one of those lines to the remaining lines. Once I get all of them pinned across, I am going to take it back to the sewing machine and sew those 2 sides together, which will in turn make a tube. All of the the 2 sides together. I have the tube. I'm going to take the scissors, and I am going to start cutting in the round on the drawn lines of the 2 1/4 inch strips. And this is such a great technique because when you're done cutting around this tube, you are going to have a full length of bias binding, and you won't have to sew any more pieces together. So just with a fat quarter. So basically I took a 1/2 yard and folded it in half and then sewed or diagonally cut those into triangles, then sewed those together. And check this out. Now I have continuous bias binding. With wonderful stretch. Ta-da!